Nothing gets people riled up more on social media when people post some crazy stuff. And I saw something that was going crazy, and there was a couple of rebuttals. I don't know if I'll be able to post the rebuttals in here because the men were just cussing quite a bit in their video, and I don't like to post cussing videos on YouTube. It says, a gentle reminder that a man who goes to work to provide for his family is sacrificing nothing because he would still have to work even if he didn't have a family. This post is very, very interesting. I don't agree with her post at all. I do find, I do feel like it's a sacrifice not only on the man's side, but on the woman's side. Specifically, if your husband is the main breadwinner and you're a stay-at-home mom, it is a sacrifice for your husband to be able to only be the breadwinner and allowing you to stay home and take care of the kids. I know some couples cannot afford for the mother to stay home. I know some people dream to be stay-at-home moms, right? So I do find that it is a sacrifice on the husband's end to be like, hey, I'll be the main breadwinner. I'll take on kind of the brunt of the financial stress that could be happening in a family to be down to one income, especially in this climate, and allowing the mother to be fully present with the children and probably saving money on daycare expenses and things like that. That's a sacrifice that happens on both sides, because also if you're a stay-at-home mom and you decide to stay home with the kids, yeah, you're not making any money. You're probably giving a lot of time that you would get to yourself. You're giving up a lot of, you might have a degree that you went to school for, now you're not using it. So there's a lot of sacrifices that go on both sides, I think. And again, like I said, I feel like she kind of posted this just to get people riled up, because she may not even have these thoughts. But let's go through some of the comments that people were saying on this video. The first comment that got the most likes is, I strongly disagree. The pressure of providing for yourself versus providing for a family is not the same. 1000% agree with this comment. Like I said earlier, if you're a husband and you're the sole breadwinner, I think the thoughts that they probably have going through their head often is, how can I make more money? How can I make sure that we have money coming in every 2 weeks? How can I, they just have all these questions that they're probably constantly thinking about, especially if you are a sole breadwinner. You're going to work because you are providing for your family and helping pay bills. If you're single with no kids, you don't need to go fishing for a high paying, decently paying job. Some guys might just be like, oh, I don't need much. I'm just living by myself, so I don't need to go strive for anything better. I'm just going to go find a job, right? At any, like a restaurant, whatever the case may be. Versus a husband might be like, you know what? I'm the sole breadwinner. I want to make really good money for my family. I'm going to work my way up the ladder. I'm going to go find a decent paying job. I'm going to maybe go back to school. I feel like the motivational aspect of providing as a man goes way up, of course, when you get married and have children. If you have nobody motivating you behind the scenes, whether, it's your wife and your children, then of course you're not going to want to strive for better. So again, I don't agree with her post in regards to that. Someone said that's not true. His money would be spent very different. Agreed. Someone else said, how is working 20 plus hours a week than usual to be able to provide, not a sacrifice? You're literally sacrificing the most valuable thing in existence, time. Because in most cases, that same salary is not enough for a family. Totally agree with this comment as well. I think most of us, especially as parents, all we really, really want in life is time. But if you are spending 80 plus hours a week working, of course you're not going to see your wife and your children. And so that's a sacrifice in and of itself, because you're sacrificing your time. You're missing out on monumental family moments to make ends meet and to provide for the family. So everybody's making a sacrifice, not just the husbands, not just the wives, but both are making a sacrifice. I think having those important conversations in your marriage is so important to make sure that y'all are both on the same page with things. And of course, like I said, don't let posts like this make you second guess your morals and your values, because you know where you and your spouse stand. You know where Jesus stands. And he created man to not be alone. That's in Genesis 1. We know that. So having that mentality, of that negative mentality toward your spouse, I think is really dangerous. And I know that sometimes when you're a stay-at-home parent, it can be very lonely, and you can sometimes feel underappreciated because maybe you're not going out and physically making money and bringing that to the table. But both are making a sacrifice in so many different ways. Both are very valuable in a relationship. And that's why God created man and woman to be together and to create this dynamic force. So those are my opinions. Let me know down below what y'all think about this. Like I said, there were some rebuttals if you want to look them up on TikTok that were kind of interesting, coming from like a husband's perspective. And there was also a guy that was single with no kids that had his perspective as well. But again, they were both cussing, so I don't want to post them in here. But thanks so much for watching today's video, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. See y'all in the next one.